Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocketradio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
All right, we'll do that. It is Coffee Ann here on ON Radio. It's Thursday morning, November 3rd, 2022. Thanks for joining us this morning. This is Joe Callahan. Hello there. Bob Lauder's here. Hi, Bob.
Good morning. Good to be with you.
Nice to be here, and nice to have you with us as well. Emily Hayning-Sheen, who is not blowing us off this week, is here from the call. Hi, Em.
Good morning, everyone.
Em was not feeling well last week, so she decided not to join us, which was actually a smart thing on your part not to do that. So,
yes.
Good going.
Thank you.
We're appreciative when the sick people stay away.
Yes, but we were desperate for conversation.
I know.
I don't know
I'm
about
so
desperate.
sorry.
I don't know about that, but
I'm sorry.
We're going
But I'm
through
back.
memory banks.
I'm back. Have
All
no
right.
fear.
Good,
Excellent.
good.
Wonder Woman's here.
Excellent. Em, time for our first message from the Call newspaper, please.
Yes. So we are back again this year with our holiday food basket program. Mm-hmm. So we are doing our holiday food basket again for Woonsocket as well as Pawtucket. And if you would like to be a sponsor and do a sponsorship for the holiday food basket, you can call me at 401-767-8500. This year, obviously, again, unfortunately, there are, food deficiencies, and especially with the holidays, with the prices going up with, food items to have, Thanksgiving dinner or, any type of holiday dinner, in December, or obviously the end of this month. We do 25 bags for the unfortunate who can have a Thanksgiving meal provided. We have teamed up again with Little General and Care Alliance, and also the Pawtucket Food Pantry. So if you are interested in doing a sponsorship, it is $250, and each of the businesses actually feed a family of 4 to 5 people for Thanksgiving and then again for the December holidays. It's a great way to kind of give back to the community. You will actually get a 2x2 ad, and in the paper, it's each week on the holiday. It's a total of 4 ads. So you get 2 ads in the Woonsocket Call and 2 ads on the Pawtucket Times. And we'll be publishing those ads on Thanksgiving Day, November 24th, Thursday, and on December 15th. So again, if you are interested in participating in a sponsorship this year, please give me a call at 401-767-8500.
All right, Em, very good. We're going to start off today's talks here on Coffee Ann.
Yes.
I'll try not to get too excited.
Well, I was excited the fact that you came in because I
thanks,
understood you hitchhiking along the highway.
Oh, yeah,
I was
some crazy characters.
I was going to ask
there.
you, what did you do to allure somebody to actually pick you up?
You just wave,
Just wave? That's all you have to do?
Yeah. I do have a very good hitchhiking story. I can tell a real hitchhiking story I can tell you.
Okay.
This happened years and years ago. We're going back 30 years. And
Horse and wagon.
Well, not quite that far back. My car broke down 295 south, and I'm right at about 146. I am halfway between my house when I was living in Cumberland and the girl I was going to go see who was living in Smithfield. And I had to make a choice of which way do I go. There was actually a third choice. I was thinking about actually crossing all lanes of the highway and going to the Lincoln Mall and finding a payphone. No cell phones back then.
Yeah.
See,
I decided I'm going to go.
Family or girlfriend?
Yeah, I decided to go towards the girlfriend.
Okay.
Started, and it was dark too, and I was under a street light, I guess. Started hitching a ride. Within minutes, a car pulled over, and I walked up to the driver's side, but someone was sitting there. Okay, this has happened to me before. I go to the back seat. In the back seat, 2 kids. A family picked me up. I'm like, I'm thinking in my head, what are you, insane that you're picking up some guy that you don't know on the highway with your kids in the back seat? But they did. And I said, where do I want to go? Well, I need to go all the way to Route 44. I said, I'm heading to my girlfriend's house at the time, and that's my car back there, broke down, so she can give me a ride home. Okay, not only did they take me to Route 44, they said, how far off 44 does she live? I don't know, 3 or 4 miles. They took me to her house.
Wow, what great people.
What
Couldn't
great
believe
people.
it. Down 44. If you know how well 44 was, you go past Apple Valley
Yeah,
Mall
Apple
at the
Valley
time.
Mall, yeah.
You had to go about another half mile down, and then take a right. Barnes Street. Anyway, you went down that road another half a mile, and there was her house, and they brought me directly to her house.
That's amazing.
I was shocked. I was, and not they didn't have any money to give them, and
Yeah.
I was amazed. So
What a great deal.
I couldn't believe it.
You have to walk back from your girlfriend's, right?
yeah, she walked me back. She was happy to see me, but then said, "Okay, you can walk home now." Okay. No, we got in her car, drove all the way back to my house, got my father, who had the stuff to jump the car,
Damn.
back to the car, jump it, drive back. Oh,
What a date.
It was a great date.
It was a great date.
I am a fun date, let me tell you. That's why.
But
yeah.
A for effort.
Thank you. That's what I thought when I said, well, which way do I go? Well, let me make the effort to go to her house, and she'll see what a wonderful guy I am. And that actually worked out. All right, so that's my hitchhiking story. On to other things. Okay, the Powerball last night.
Yes.
Okay, too excited. I won $2.
Woohoo!
So in the last 2 drawings, I've netted $6.
You're ahead of
Hey,
me, man.
$6 is better than no bucks.
However, I am behind $34 because I paid $20 to get the quick picks.
Well,
each time.
now
So-
there was no winner
No
last
grand prize
night.
winner again.
So
No
it's
prize winner last
No,
night.
not the
no,
grand
so
prize.
it's up to $1.5 billion.
That's with a B. So I'll take my $2 winnings and get another ticket and
Exactly.
give him another 20, get another 10.
Yeah, it was
quick
funny. I actually got one ticket yesterday, and usually I just say quick pick.
picks. Yeah.
I actually didn't last.
picked your numbers?
I picked my numbers.
See, now you're stuck.
Why?
You can if once you pick your numbers,
Right.
psychologically,
Yeah.
you can now not pick. If you're going to play again, you have to keep picking those numbers because if you don't, those numbers will come up. You understand how it works?
Yeah.
So now
the reverse psychology.
Yeah, you're kind of
Okay.
you're kind of because what if you go? All right, I'm going to pick 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is what the numbers my father used to play. By the way, well, they could come up. Well, he was right, but anyway, let's say you pick those numbers and then say, okay, that didn't work. I'll just go for the quick pick, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 comes up. You'd be kicking yourself. Those are my numbers that I didn't play.
Now, do you play your dad's numbers?
No, I thought that was silly.
Well, it's just as good as any numbers. I mean,
That's what he said, and he's absolutely right. But no, I just give me the quick pick. Give me what the computer kicks out, because I don't want to be stuck playing the same numbers over and over and over and over and over. But he thought that was a good strategy. Never worked.
What I'll probably do is I'll do one my own numbers.
Okay.
And then the second one I'll do
Okay.
a quick pick.
There you go.
Cover all my bases.
So Bob, you don't do any of this, right?
actually, when the Powerball is so immense, I actually spend the $2.
You buy one.
I buy one for me and one for Jean.
All right.
Now, the deal is
Do you have
that,
to split it?
well, if she wins, I'm going to request a split.
Uh-huh.
If it's my ticket that wins,
She knows too many lawyers, Bob.
60-40?
oh, that's right. That's right.
She knows too many lawyer friends of yours.
that
Yeah,
is true.
my parents and I, we've always said, because my dad will buy, tickets, and with the Power Play, usually I do, the Powerball or Mega Millions with the, Mega Plier or the Power Play, that we would split it. But I only had $2 on me last night, so it was just a regular Powerball.
You can't buy the lottery ticket with a debit card.
No, it has to be cash.
It's an all cash deal.
Yes, it's an all cash. Yeah,
Do you know why that is?
I don't, because I know that with scratch tickets,
Yeah.
there are some places that they would take a debit card to buy scratch tickets, but when it comes to the actual, Powerball or Mega Millions,
because it's
because
nationwide?
it's nation. I believe that, but don't quote me on
Right.
it.
So
But
no debit or credit cards. It's
no,
you gotta take
strictly cash.
Did you know
Cash
that,
is
Bob?
king.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that, but I also don't realize what you're talking about when you're saying the multiplier, or what does that mean?
I don't play that, Meg. Meg. M.
It's okay. You can call me whatever you want. So the Powerball has an extra kind of, incentive to get the
Even more money.
power play. So even if you don't get, say, hypothetically, you do get numbers that match to your particular, but you don't match the Powerball.
Okay.
If the Megaplier will still give you more than what your original
all right.
numbers. So it's still an incentive. Obviously, it's not the grand prize, but it gives you a little. It does give you more money than if you didn't do it and you had just regular matching numbers.
Does it increase the grand prize as well?
Well, obviously, it's $1 more, so it's $3 instead of $2 if you do the power play.
Right now, it's $1.2 billion.
Yes.
Would it
So-
increase that beyond?
Yes, it would, because you're paying into that. So you're paying $2. So $2 goes into the pot. If nobody wins, then obviously it's up by $2. This is just, simple math. And then, but if you buy the power play, it's $3 instead of $2. It costs more.
Right.
So it would be $3 going into the pot. And if nobody wins, it would be up $3 instead of $2.
I like to keep it easy with the
I-
even numbers.
Yeah, I had trouble beyond fourth grade math. So
That's why I became a lawyer, right?
yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Let me ask you. Oh,
yes.
Oh, is it time for M's commercial?
About a minute, so go ahead.
we
You
can
can ask a
time.
question.
Headline article today says that a particular baseball player won the Golden Glove. Mm-hmm. I have not heard of the Golden Glove award before. What does it signify?
Jeremy Pena won that. He's a native of Rhode Island. He's playing for the Houston Astros right now. It just means he was the best of the best this year in the infield.
And it said that he was the only infielder who's ever won?
No.
Maybe for that team, but
He became the first rookie shortstop to win this.
okay.
Um,
Because there were 2 Golden Gloves
Yeah, there's one in the
for
American League, one in the National League.
yeah.
So he's
There-
just considered the best infielder.
there was 2 players for the Red Sox that were nominated for the Golden
Okay, is that
Golden
an
Glove.
annual award?
Yes.
Yes, it
Okay.
is. Yeah,
And it's only given to one player in the entire league?
2 people.
2 people,
people.
One in
because
each
you
league.
have the National League and the American League,
Right. Okay.
And they get a
one
nice
in each.
trophy. It looks like a gold baseball glove, and
and it's gold.
they get a lot of money.
Yeah.
Oh, neat.
Like they don't
okay.
make enough.
Great.
And it's usually written into their contracts. If you win these extra awards, you get extra money from the team. It's an
Wow.
incentive to play as
Better.
good as you can. Yeah. So yeah, it's prestigious.
Just
Hit-
like the Heisman Trophy. Just
Yeah.
like there's
It's like an
different
MVP.
MVP.
And there's the Silver Slugger Award for people that hit. They get that award. So there's all sorts of awards that are handed out at the end of the year.
Great.
So
Good.
getting a Gold Glove is pretty good. It means you're really good.
Yeah.
Good.
Really, really good.
And from Rhode Island. Wow.
Yes, how about that? Went to Bishop Hendricken, so that's pretty cool.
Well, we'll forgive him that part. He could have gone to Woonsocket, but
Well, he could have gone to the Mount. But Mount's not known for their baseball.
No.
Hendricken is.
When you go to Woonsocket High School, you don't refer to the Mount. There's
well, if he's picking between Catholic schools,
oh,
True.
all right.
So-
Okay.
I mean,
That's what I'm saying.
being a person that went to Hedricken's sister school, which is Bayview,
yeah,
even back long
then.
time ago when I was at Bayview and all my guy friends were Hendricken students, still produced hockey and baseball, football,
it's every sport. Yeah.
every sport, and Mount is obviously most known for their hockey. Bayview at the time was known for many of their
Other
sports.
All right.
being.
That's the way it works there, Bob.
Yeah.
Because they get recruited.
Exactly.
If you're really good,
I was
the private schools are going to come look for you.
I was recruited.
So there you go.
I was recruited for college. I got a tennis scholarship for college.
Nice.
Fantastic.
Yeah, from playing at Bayview.
Very good.
Yeah.
Em, time for a second message from the Call newspaper, then we'll take a break here on Coffee and.
Yes. So, again, holiday theme because 'tis the season, and we have the holiday gift guide. So everything you need to know about what that special person might want. It might be something from, a retail store. It might be something in regards to services, whatever you may think of. We have some great advertising, packages. And what's great about this particular program, if you donate a $25 gift certificate, it will be taken off the original price of the package. And if you do that, you will get extra 2x2 ads in the Woonsocket Call and the Pawtucket Times. So we will be doing that stocking stuffer giveaway again. So we'll have 3 stocking stuffers and we'll have the contest. Last year we had everything from a overnight stay at Foxwoods with a Legends concert. We had, gift certificates to restaurants, gift certificates for pet stores, kind of a hodgepodge of different types of gift certificates. So if you are interested, any business or service or industry that is interested in doing a advertising package with the Pawtucket Times or the beloved Woonsocket Call, you can give me a call at 401-767-8500.
Very good, Em. More Coffee Ants coming up. You can call in comments or questions at 766-1240.
For an Allstate agent, providing protection options that fit your life is something they take, personally. Allstate agents are committed to learning about your needs and helping customize protection to meet them. From bundling your home and auto insurance with ease to evaluating optional coverage, your Allstate agent can help build an insurance proposal that fits your life. And just as important as learning what you need is learning what you don't. Because helping you get coverage you want with savings you deserve is what Allstate is all about. It's time to get coverage that's catered to you. Are you in good hands? Call Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. One agency, 2 locations in North Smithfield and Bellingham. One telephone number, 765-5000. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Allstate Property and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois. In Congress, David Cicilline is delivering for Rhode Island. As global events raise prices everywhere, including here at home, Cicilline is cutting costs for Rhode Islanders. He battled the pharmaceutical companies and lowered prescription drug prices for seniors. David took on the big corporations for price gouging and brought historic investments in infrastructure, manufacturing, and clean energy to create jobs, improve the supply of goods, and help reduce costs for consumers. Visit Cicilline.com and make your plan to vote on or before Election Day, Tuesday, November 8th. David Cicilline, delivering for Rhode Island.
I'm David Cicilline, and I approve this message.
Paid for by the Cicilline Committee.
The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee in Pawtucket. They're a 62-year-old family business that roasts all its coffee right here in Rhode Island. Founded originally as Excellent Coffee Company, they provide great coffee to food service establishments throughout New England.
Have you heard of Scott McGee with Remax Properties? He's been selling real estate in Rhode Island and Massachusetts for the last 17 years, and you can see that he loves what he does. Scott, as well as his team, take pride in what they call the fair and honest team. No gimmicks. And no, they're not buying your house if it doesn't sell, etc. Just fair and honest real estate. Scott personally works with tons of sellers and buyers and specializes in residential properties as well as commercial, and he's always very fair and offers super competitive rates. Remember, this is probably the biggest move in dollars that you will ever spend or receive. You want to go with a trusted and experienced agent. Scott is fair, honest, and modest, always puts the clients first, and he also dealt with literally almost any situation. You really need to look at your real estate needs as a business. You want to pay and get the right money now so that you're not paying for it later. Trust me. So why not give Scott McGee a call at 401-639-2906. That's 401-639-2906.
Coffee and ON Radio and M. What's that number again for Scott McGee?
Sure, it's 401-639-2906.
One more time.
401-639-2906.
All right, very good. Okay, the coffee and panel is insisting I tell how I got a free room at Foxwoods.
Yes.
Yes.
Story, and it has absolutely nothing to do with gambling. Usually, the high roller gamblers.
Oh, yeah.
If you spend enough money, they will give you rooms and other perks. So it has nothing to do with gambling. My wife worked for a company, and for whatever reason, they decided to have a work meeting at Foxwoods. So and it was a nighttime meeting. So for whatever reason, they went down there. They had dinner. They had their meeting, but then you were required to stay over, or it was so late, everyone got rooms. So this is how we got the free room, because the company paid for all the rooms. Now everyone's supposed to double up, save money. My wife is the only female in the group. So she got her
nice.
own room. She said, "Joe, come on down." And we brought our son.
That's awesome.
So free room at Foxwood. Then she said, keep it quiet, try not to
Yeah.
be seen,
Yeah.
kind of thing. And it worked out fine. So while she went to her meeting, and I took my son, he had to be, 5 or 6. We just went swimming at the pool down there. So
That's great.
so we had a
Good
fun
thing
time.
your wife chose you.
It is
I
a good
mean,
thing, don't you think?
there are some perks when it comes to certain companies. I was director of marketing at Polar Beverages. I was the only woman in upper management for 6.5 years, and I worked with a lot of vendors and stuff. And I went to Red Sox games and
Oh, yeah.
box
They
seats
give you everything.
and
Yeah.
oh yeah, they always try to butter up the marketing director,
Yeah,
but that was many moons ago. That was my first career. I was in the beverage industry for 13 years, so it was fun, but it's not as fun as working for the Woonsocket Call and the Tucket Times. Well, no, it's true, because I have an advertising degree, and that's what I wanted to do when I got out of college.
You didn't want to sell soda?
Well, I mean, I was third generation in the beverage industry, so it was kind of. It just kind of happened.
Yeah.
But no, I wanted to go into either newspaper, radio, or television when I graduated from college. But there was unfortunately
Nothing available.
nothing available, and 9/11 happened.
Oh, okay.
So that was just kind of how the dice rolled. But 20 years later, 20-something years later, here I am, and I couldn't be happier.
Great.
Yeah.
All right. And other things going on. CVS has agreed
Yes,
to pay $5 billion, that's with a B, in a settlement over accusations it mishandled the distribution of opioid painkillers. Them and Walgreens.
Yeah, they weren't the only
Yes.
pharmacy conglomerate to pay.
But they admit no wrongdoing. They just want to pay this and get it out of the way. And just, we're moving on. Yes,
Well,
Bob?
Yeah, Bob, you can go first.
well, my going first is a quandary between the legal part of it and the cynical part of it.
All right.
And the cynical part of it is, I think that the allegations that all opioid problems arise from drug companies over-prescribing or over-distributing medications may overlook the fact that every one of us has some degree of personal responsibility in what we do with our lives. And I would think that not everybody is deluded into using the drugs on their own. I think that some people make the decision to do that. And I don't necessarily feel as happy when I see large companies such as CVS or Walgreens being
And Walmart. They're in this too.
okay,
Yeah.
being charged by this. Those companies are distributing drugs which are prescribed by doctors. And The doctors, I think, would have some degree of responsibility in this. They know their patients. The people in the pharmacies only know the prescriptions that are coming in. They can probably double check and see if there's unusual amounts. I remember my daughter worked for a while in one of those drugstore companies in the pharmacy department, that when people came in with prescriptions from faraway places, it was a red flag, and they'd do all kinds of checking on them. And they also apparently have some type of computer system which will identify individuals and how much drugs they're getting. But I don't see why it's necessarily the pharmacy's responsibility or negligence that's resulting in the opioid crisis.
Okay. Em, any you want to add on to that?
So, I mean, obviously, this issue has been going on, since, really, if in all honesty, it started in the 90s. I mean, it's when new drugs came out, but I think certain parties involved are definitely liable. It's not just the pharmacy, conglomerates. It's the drug companies. It's the doctors. It's the, there was, I believe it was on Netflix, and it was very eye-opening because the, drug reps were getting, information. They were under the impression, but at the end of the day, the victims or the people who became addicted to the opioids, they were going by the advice of their doctors. Obviously, we know much more now than we did then, and I think it's from the past that it's being held accountable now, and it's just taking that long to get groups of people, class action lawsuits, that type of thing. And that's basically what this particular case is. It's, and then obviously the FDA gets involved and the government gets involved. But it's not just one person, one company. It's that ripple effect. And, it's learning more about drugs. It's learning more about side effects. It's learning more about things that could be addictive, and giving too much of a dose instead of, doing the legal, let's say 2 milligrams instead of prescribing, 10, 20, whatever, or how many you take a day. So, I mean, I think it's still a huge issue across the country. I think it's across the world, honestly. And at the end of the day, we just have to be, more conscious and more testing and asking more questions as an individual. If you have a surgery, if you get sick, if you're allergic to certain medications, things like that, you have to be proactive for yourself. But when you have a doctor, when you have a lawyer, when you have, your dealership or, whomever, you're always putting your trust into that particular, person, especially when it comes to doctors. They're supposed to be a life-saving entity. And when this issue, comes about where the doctor, there's a lot of great doctors out there and there's a lot of not so great doctors out there. Money comes in to play in this particular situation. The reps make more money if they sell more of a certain drug. The doctors get, incentives, kickback, they get a portion of the profits, it goes on and on and on. But at the end of the day, I think as an individual, just speaking for myself, you have to be proactive, for your own health and ask questions and research and learn about different things.
What do you think about
This,
it?
well, I kind of agree with you, Bob, that without knowing the facts of it all, why are the pharmacies getting the brunt of the blame? When you say, well, yeah, well, this Dr. X here, he sent in a prescription for this person, and it's 10 milligrams, and the next one comes in, now it's 20 milligrams, and the next one comes in, now it's 30 milligrams. Well, why is it up to the pharmacist to have to question every single prescription that comes in? There's too many. There's too much for them to do. So, but maybe that's not the entire case of this case. Maybe there's more to it. The whole thing is a $12 billion settlement, of which CVS has to pay $5, and then there's Walgreens and Walmart, and I'm sure there are others that get split up around this as well. So, but they just, I guess they're going to say, well, we're going to do better, and we're going to move on from here. So there you go. We got to take a break here on Coffee In right now and bring the weather forecast, which is being sponsored by the Ad Council.
Sunny skies today with a high of 67 degrees and a calm wind. Tonight, increasingly cloudy, overnight low of 44. Friday's weather, mostly sunny, 70 degrees. Saturday, mostly sunny and 72. Sunday, mostly cloudy and 72. Monday, sunshine and 74. Tuesday, sunshine and 58. And on Wednesday, mostly sunny skies with a high for the day of 56 degrees.
Currently outside the Navigant Credit Union Broadcast Studio on the corner of Park Ave and Kennedy Street with sunny skies, we have 41 degrees. Okay, dads, it's time to do the Cabbage Patch, the Running Man, or something more contemporary, the Floss. That's right, dance like a dad with your kids. Learn more at fatherhood.gov, sponsored by the Ad Council.
Paul Bourget, chairman of the Woonsocket School Committee, is asking for your vote to re-elect him and the current members of the school committee, including Donald Burke, Lynn Kapiskas, Alan LeClaire, and Amy Costa. For the past 2 years, your current school committee has provided experienced leadership and commitment to our students, their parents, and the school administration. They've listened and acted on school issues such as bullying and mask wearing. The school committee approved programs and personnel to address learning loss and social emotional support. In addition, the school committee provided for a safe and healthy environment for our students. And currently, they're planning for the building and rehabilitation of our schools. Know that your school committee will continue to make sure that our students receive the best education possible. So please, cast your vote for Donald Burke, Lynn Kapiskas, Alan LeClaire, Amy Costa, and Paul Bourget.
Paid for by the Campaign for Paul Bourget.
Krakow Deli Bakery and Smokehouse offers authentic homemade Polish food to make your next meal real special. Try our many varieties of hot and fresh pierogi with onions and dirty sour cream, or pick up golubki, kielbasa, babkas, or some fresh rye bread. We also offer a large selection of specialty and imported goods. We're open Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays from 9 to 6, Wednesdays 9 to 5, and Saturdays 8 to 5. Follow us on Facebook to learn about our weekly specials. Located at 855 Social Street in Woonsocket, Krakow Deli Bakery and Smokehouse has all the authentic Polish foods you love.
It is Coffee In on ON, AM, and FM. Thanks for joining us. This is Joe Callahan here with Emily Haining-Sheen from The Call and Bob Blotter from his own law office. So it's time for your first message, Bob.
Good morning. Thanks. This is Attorney Bob Lauder. With the political campaign system accelerating toward Election Day on November 8th, I'd like to talk with you this morning about what can and cannot be placed in your mailbox without postage. The regulations of the United States Postal Service provide that with the exception of door slots and unlocked mailboxes in apartment buildings, postage must be affixed to all other items deposited into letterboxes or other receptacles intended for the use or delivery of mail in any city, rural route, rural delivery area, highway contract route, or other mail route so designated as an authorized depository for mail. Basically, that means virtually anything that you're receiving mail in. Section 508.3.1 of the Domestic Mail Manual provides that no part of mail receptacle may be used to deliver any matter not bearing postage, including items that are placed onto, supported by, hanging on, inserted into the mailbox. All matter has to have postage on it. What are the consequences of making an unauthorized delivery? The perpetrator, if it's an individual, can be fined up to $5,000. And if it's an organization, it can be fined up to $10,000. All of which explains why campaign flyers and requests for food donations to various scouting groups must be attached to the door handle or attached to the door as a post-it note, but never stuffed into one's mailbox. If you'd like to discuss this or other legal matters with me, please contact my office for an appointment. My name is Bob Lauder. My telephone number is 762-4550. And the disclaimer. The Supreme Court of Rhode Island licenses all attorneys in the general practice of law. The court does not license or certify any attorney as an expert or specialist in any field of practice. Thank you.
Bob, that's so funny that you bring that up about what you can put in a mailbox and what you can't. All
Why's
right?
that?
So this goes back, another good story about Joe. Back when I had to be 13 or 14 or so, the Pawtucket Times, not owned by the Call at the time,
Yeah.
was doing a promotion. And they started to print a small paper called the Weekly Times.
Yes. Yeah.
And what I did, they looked for people to deliver it. And I was given a bunch of papers, and they wanted me to go around, and they gave me a list. Here are all the people that are not subscribers of the Pawtucket Times. Here, go give them this free newspaper, in the hopes that they would get a subscription. And they gave me, I thought it was an exorbitant amount of streets to do, because it was just me and my bicycle pedaling around.
Yeah.
And I think I got $10 a week to do this. I didn't have to collect any money. That was really easy. That was the best part. But in an effort to be more, to do it quicker, I go, why am I going up to everybody's doorstep? I can just throw them in the mailbox. And there were ones that some had one socket called paper boxes, and put it in there. And so didn't I get a phone call? Well, the mail people, they called the Times. And someone at the Times called whoever my boss was at the time, and then so bang, bang, bang. Now it's back to me. Are you putting the newspapers in the mailbox? Sure am. You can't do that. The post office is getting upset. Really? I go, but sometimes it's raining. Yeah, I know. Get it as close to the door as possible. All right, fine. So yeah, I was breaking. I had no idea. Yeah,
I wouldn't expect.
I'm 13. How am I supposed to know
Yeah.
the law?
Yeah, exactly.
I thought you read the postal manual while you were,
I should have. So yeah, I always wonder how mad the post office actually was. Not that I was taking up all their room. There was plenty of room to get the mail in. I thought, but that's
Okay, now he's confessed
that's
to
just me.
Yeah.
hitchhiking along the highway.
Yeah, exactly.
Stealing rooms at Fox.
Stealing
Yeah,
rooms at
yeah,
Foxwoods,
yeah.
defying the
now,
postal
that's
service.
a federal expense.
I
Jeez.
think we should make a citizen's
There's
arrest.
going to be
Is there a reward?
I know, is there?
take a look to see if there's the state troopers are in the parking lot. All right. I don't know how I feel about this. I'm not too crazy about it off the top of my head, but we'll see what you guys think. The state of Rhode Island is moving forward. They want to have supervised drug injection sites, and I'm assuming this is for illegal drugs. And now the governor authorized this pilot program back in 2021. Channel 10 says the state opened up the bidding process for companies to submit proposals on Wednesday to, I don't know, build these things, I guess. Let's see. The expectation is that the injection centers will be located in hotspots for drug usage. So, yeah, we're looking at illegal drug usage. Companies being asked to submit proposals by December 2nd. So they want to build these places where you can go and inject illegal drugs, I guess, quote-unquote, safely. And I'm not too crazy about this idea.
I can see the philosophy that if you are doing it in a safe manner, the people who are using the illegal drugs are less likely to overdose or maybe have some kind of fatal reaction at the time that they're
not
receiving it.
necessarily.
But at the same time, you have, it sounds like a government-sanctioned operation involving an illegal substance.
Yeah.
And what responsibility does the state have for encouraging or supporting a person's use of a illegal substance?
That could kill them.
This
Yeah.
is getting into an area that I think I'd want to do a lot more research on,
Yeah.
Yeah.
governmental liability. I know that, government's not as liable as an individual is for a whole lot of things, but at the same time, this is getting into an unusual area.
Sure is. And it does say, Em, do you want to weigh in on this before I go on?
I'm a little baffled, so I
When it says supervised drug injection sites, I think they're just, supervised. I'll be there in case you overdose. I don't think they're going to be there to say, gee, how much are you going to take? No, that's too much. I don't think there's going to
No,
be that kind of thing.
No,
So they
I
could
agree with you,
overdose.
but I
don't.
It just doesn't seem right.
it just doesn't. It seems like it almost encourages.
Yeah. I can go over there. Maybe I can pick up a clean needle.
I
brought the stuff with me.
I would have to, like Bob said, I would have to kind of, research and investigate
well-
more into a concisive answer to that particular discussion.
Well, look for it because it's they're moving forward. They want people to. I don't know. I don't know how you make money on this, but they're looking
and
for
and
proposals.
will it be just in Providence
Doesn't
or?
say. Just says where the high drug usage is. So where's that? Providence, Central Falls.
No,
is it in Woonsocket? I don't know.
I mean, it's anywhere.
It's anywhere. I know.
Yeah, I'd want to know more about what the scheme involves. Are they going to
Yeah.
have nurses there? Are they going to have
I don't know what
EMTs
supervisors
there?
I don't know. Who pays for all this?
Exactly. Yeah, that.
Well, it sounds
is
as though
another
the state
factor.
government would be paying for it because they're putting out a contract. So they want to hire some entity to operate this. I don't know what the entity would be, what the requirements would be for a supervision, the level of education the individuals would have.
And it's
if
illegal
somebody-
to buy illegal drugs. I mean that's
doesn't make
that's
sense.
why it's just next subject.
Okay, next subject. Moving on. The ACLU is very happy.
Say that again.
The ACLU is happy. They're declaring victory
Great.
for on religious freedom. Down in Coventry, there is a small Wiccan church that went to the town and said, we want a permit for their church. And the town council down there, the zoning board, declined to issue it a permit. So they went to the ACLU and said, come fight for us. And they did. And now the city of town, it's a town or a city of Coventry? It's a town, right?
Town.
Is going to allow the Horn and Cauldron Church of the Earth to continue holding religious services and activities on its property.
Why did the town originally deny them?
Yeah.
Were they claiming that it was not a church?
Unfortunately, I don't have all the facts.
All right.
They just said it just in what I had in the story I got earlier this year, the Coventry Zoning Board just declined to issue them a permit. And now the ACLU says the decision to approve averts a planned lawsuit. Hey, we're going to sue you if you don't give it to us. And the Wiccan Church is a recognized religion. It's not women in black hats and the pointy hats with the
No,
cauldron kind of thing.
it's- yeah,
They're actually
okay.
very earth-minded people,
Okay. I would imagine
from what I know.
that the way it's written, that the the zoning board down there thought that the organization was not a church within the
Probably not. Probably
meaning
trying to get
of their,
around the
their
taxes and things like that.
ordinances. Mm-hmm. Okay.
But so they win. So in case you let all your Wiccan friends know.
No, I mean good for them.
That they can go
I
down
mean
there.
whatever the reason was that it was denied, they do have the right to practice
It is.
their religion.
All right, and one more thing we want to get to before we gotta let you guys go. They're going to be spraying in Lincoln and in North Providence and Smithfield for the dreaded spotted lanternfly.
Now, what does the lanternfly do? Is that the one that
Well, it's a bug.
defoliates trees?
Yeah, there's an infestation of this bug. The director of DEM says the Ocean State must continue to move aggressively in the areas where the lanternfly has been found before it spreads widely and causes considerable economic harm. I don't know what it's doing. It must be, maybe it goes after apples or something. I don't know.
To nip it in the bud.
That was.
Oh!
That was. You want to say that again, Dave?
No, we won't let him say it
They
again.
want to nip it in the bug.
No bug. All right, so there you go. I guess this particular bug is not of this area. Somehow it got introduced,
Wow.
so there's no natural predators for it. So
Yeah.
we can't let it go wild.
Yeah, I wonder if it's cyclical like the gypsy moth, which doesn't seem to be every year, but we have cycles of that being pervasive, or if it's going to be an annual situation.
Possibly. All right, Em and Bob have got to go because they got other things to get to, but we want to get a second message from Bob Lauder and his law office before they take off.
Good morning. Thank you. Over the last 10 years, at least, you've heard me talk about the benefits which accompany preparation of a lawful estate plan. However, an article on CNBC last week led me to thinking about the practical steps one should take upon the death of an individual. The first step involves the death itself. If the individual has died in a healthcare facility, the administration will notify the medical examiner to begin the process of preparing a death certificate. However, if the individual dies outside of a healthcare facility, the individual discovering the death should notify the local police department, which will likely come to the location and thereupon notify the medical examiner. The individual having a close relationship should also contact a funeral director, and in the event that it is known that the deceased had prepared and delivered to a funeral home a funeral planning designation agent form or other lists and the procedures that the deceased wanted to have followed after their deaths, this may make it easier to complete the final decisions concerning the disposition of the remains. Individual having a close relationship with the deceased should also begin searching for copies of any last will and testament, evidence of any trust agreements, copies of financial records of the deceased, and any other documents the individual can locate concerning the assets of the deceased as well as the lawful debts of the deceased and the heirs at law of the deceased. The individual having close relationship with the deceased should also undertake to secure the assets of the deceased. If the deceased lived alone, to lock the house, secure the motor vehicles, notify the employer of the deceased, notify any known attorney of the deceased, and discuss with that attorney the procedures for administration of the estate of the individual who has died. Death is never an easy subject to discuss, and the impact which it has on family, relatives, and close friends can be devastating. To make that impact less burdensome to the survivors, I again strongly recommend that every adult consult with an attorney to formulate a viable and appropriate estate plan. If you'd like to discuss this or other legal matters with me, please call my office for an appointment. My name is Bob Lauder. My telephone number is 762-4550. And the disclaimer. The Supreme Court of Rhode Island licenses all attorneys in the general practice of law. The court does not license or certify any attorney as an expert or specialist in any field of practice. Thank you.
All right, Bob, thank you very much, and thanks for coming in this week. Appreciate it. And Em, thanks for coming in.
You are very welcome, and hope everybody has a great weekend. It's supposed to be gorgeous.
Yes, it is.
Yes. So there's still some foliage out there. So
Go look at it.
Go take a ride, get some fresh air, and I will be here next week, same time, same place.
Very good. Break time here on Coffee and More's coming up. Stay tuned.
Seasonal allergies got you down? The Honey Shop has a solution. Breathe. It's the all-natural cold and allergy remedy made right here in Woonsocket. Or perhaps you have sleep problems, arthritis, or some other ailment that you're looking for a natural solution. The Honey Shop is also starting classes again. So if you're looking to learn something new, stop by 1300 Park Avenue in Woonsocket near Park Square, or give them a call at 401-766-1488. The Honey Shop.
The high cost of living, rising energy costs, safe streets, secure elections. These are the issues facing every Rhode Islander, and they require real leadership and real solutions. My name is John Brian, and as State Representative for District 49, I assure you that I will work to earn your trust each and every day that I serve as your state representative. I'm running as an independent candidate because in this climate of political gridlock and consistent conflict, I think it is truly important to elect candidates that will have an open mind regardless of party or personality. Neither political party has a monopoly on good or bad ideas, holding the city, town, or state back because of a party designation holds us back from the successes that we could otherwise achieve. As a former state representative and vice president of the Woonsocket City Council, I have the experience and knowledge to hit the ground running on day one. I humbly ask you for your vote, and I look forward to serving you as your state representative. Paid for, Friends of John Brian.
Hi, I'm Ronald Blaze, inviting you to the Arnold Mills United Methodist Church Holiday Fair, Saturday, November 12th from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. in the Church Hall, 690 Nate Whipple Highway, Cumberland. Our morning cafe will serve muffins and breakfast pastries from 8 to 10:30 a.m. Homemade food items include stained glass candy, friendship soup mix, fudge, baked beans, apple pies, and assortment of baked goods. Handmade crafts feature varied knit goods, holiday decorations and ornaments, teacher gifts, pet items, and stocking stuffers. Shoppers are also invited to visit the Timeless Treasures Room, the Garden Shop, a book nook, and place a bid in the silent auction. Also, in recognition of Veterans Day, visitors will be able to sign a card thanking our veterans. The church is handicapped accessible. For directions or more information, call 333-5203. So come join us at the Arnold Mills United Methodist Church Holiday Fair, Saturday, November 12th, from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Thanks, Ron. It is Coffee In here on ON, AM, and FM. Thanks for joining us this morning. Joe Callahan here. Bob Lyder had to go. Emily had to go. Dave Richards has joined us here at the Coffee In table. Hello there, Dave.
I knew I was somewhere.
We have a winner
We have
for
a winner.
today's drawing of the Autumn Fest calendar
Norm Lesbrance.
of Woonsocket, right, Dave?
Exactly.
Congratulations,
Norm, baby.
Norm.
Thanks for buying an Autumn Fest calendar for $10. Look what you got today.
The Executive Auto Wash, 6 platinum washes. This is a $126 value.
Plus.
And a 3-month platinum car wash membership. That's a $108 value.
Plus,
Aero Trampoline Park, 6 1-hour jump passes.
value that.
$80.
Plus.
And the gym 1-month membership. That's a $50 value.
Cool.
So there you go. Those are your winners. A winner for today. Those are your prizes. Now tomorrow we'll have 2 winners. One for the 4th and then one for the 5th as well. I believe they're going to draw Friday and Saturday on Friday, and then on
and
Monday.
Sunday and Monday on Monday?
On Monday, and that's
Yeah,
how that'll work
I knew
out.
they figured it out somehow.
All right, that's how that's going to go.
That's
right
the Autumn Fest
there.
calendar, and there's still some available. Keep in mind, of course, that some of the prizes have been given away. So, you got to have to, but Denise still has a very small number of calendars
Yeah.
here at the radio station. Come on in, give her $10. You support Autumn Fest, and you'll be in for the rest of the drawings. And keep in mind, the rules of the calendar drawing are that when Norm Lesbrance has won today, we put his name back in,
He can win again.
along with
It's-
Carol Demers, and I forgot the name of the winner yesterday.
Billington.
Bellington, that's right, Mary Bellington.
So
Their numbers will go back in. They could be drawn again. So,
is
I
good.
mean, I wouldn't worry about the fact that we've given a couple of drawings away here.
it's going to be tough to remember everybody's name, Dave, when it gets to about the 15th.
Yeah, it's,
Off the
oh,
top
it
of our
certainly
heads.
will. Yeah, right.
All right, other things going on newsworthy-wise.
I heard you guys talking about stuff that I just think some of it's just plain awful.
All right, let's get to the better stuff.
Oh, okay.
Huey Lewis
I was
going to
ring in on some of the other things you talked about.
All right, do you want to do that?
Well, no, I was prepared.
All right. But Huey Lewis in the news, they're selling their music catalog.
And tell me how many people care.
Me?
No, 5 people in the band.
Okay.
They care
Yeah, because they're going to get $20 million
to split up.
to split amongst themselves. Well, the reason they're doing it, do you know the story with Huey Lewis?
Well, yeah, he ran into terrible health problems.
That's right.
He
gets
cannot
sick.
perform anymore.
He can't sing anymore, so
Yeah.
why hang on to it?
Right.
So he's going to sell it off. So, which is too bad. Huey was
That's right.
good in concert and put on a decent show.
He did.
So, but they're going to get some
And
some big
a pretty
cash.
good guy too. We're told by folks
That's
who
what
we
I
know
hear.
in common.
So, good for him. They had a lot of big hits back there in the 1980s. Hot Rock and Roll, Power of Love.
All those things in Back
yeah.
to the Future that they made.
Everything from Back to the Future.
Yeah.
And, he still gets his residuals. He's in the movie.
Yeah.
For a very, he's got one line?
Whoop, there he is. Bye.
No, he does get a line, though.
Yep.
Sorry, folks.
You have to get a line, otherwise
Yeah.
what was that? That's
SAG.
Screen Actors Guild, SAG,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
If you get a line, you get paid more.
That's right.
As opposed to just standing there.
That's right. If you're an extra, you get $50 plus.
Yeah.
You have access to the buffet.
But his one line, sorry.
As they say, what services? I'm just losing a few words here today, but they call there's something that's called there, something services.
All right. His one line, by the way, is sorry, you're just too darn loud. Mm-hmm. Pretty easy. All right. So, Dave, if you have a few $100,000 just laying around, just doing nothing, this is something I would love to have, but I just don't have the money. Baseball fans can own a piece of history. Going up for auction, a game-used bat from Ty Cobb's rookie season that he used.
We know that he uses it.
It's got to be
Has provenance?
Authorized that it was his bat. The bid right now is at $236,000.
Ah, yes.
And the bidding closes on November 13th.
I thought that all bats would have been bought by Halloween.
So Cobb's rookie season, 1905.
Right.
This is when
Long
they
time
use
ago.
this is when they use real wood.
That's
And
right.
They just chop down a tree limb and basically use that.
That's right, yeah.
To go hit the baseball. So this thing is going to have some real heft to it.
I wouldn't be surprised.
So
the ones I used when I was a young guy, some of them were pretty heavy.
yeah, and this thing's going to be is basically a rock. It's
Yeah.
just going to be so heavy.
But see, they had a very thick handle
Yeah,
to them.
yeah.
As bats went along, they got a thinner and thinner handle, and that's why they break so often.
Yeah.
They don't
Back
break
then,
up
they
at the
didn't.
thick area
No.
as often as they break
Down by the
down
handle.
the thin handle.
But that would be cool. That's a real piece of history. I'm surprised it's actually not in the Hall of Fame. And they might actually bid for it. I don't know. But $236,000. It's going up from there.
Okay,
All right, now a man, Dave, has been fired
that's nice.
in Madison, Wisconsin.
Okay.
He works, or did work, at the Children's Museum in Madison because, according to the
Why
according to
did he
him,
work at the Children's Museum?
why? Well, that's where he got
Well,
the
you
job.
said because.
Yeah. Well, he did have cognitive disabilities,
All right.
but he decided for Halloween
Mm-hmm.
to dress up like Adolf Hitler.
I see.
So
That'd
now-
be pretty scary.
Now, he thought he was mocking Hitler when he wore the costume on Saturday.
Right.
The costume touched off a wave of criticism over the weekend and pushed the University of Wisconsin, I didn't know the Children's Museum was at the university, to issue a statement. A number of Jewish groups on campus in Madison decried the costume as well. The Children's Museum said it hopes to get the man into a restorative justice program to help him see why his costume was wrong.
Yeah. Well,
Is this back to
I
the
mean,
woke
how
community?
often do we have to go through these? It's wrong, but it's popular thing here. So okay, everybody wants the world to be exactly the way they want it because this is supposed to be heaven. No, I'm sorry, that's not it. They don't get it. Okay, fine. If somebody didn't realize that they were making a mistake, let's lynch them anyway, right?
Yeah, I don't think the punishment should be. There shouldn't be any punishment, by the way. But firing from his job
Oh gosh.
is just, in my opinion, is just wrong.
Well, sure.
You pull him aside and say you can't do this again.
But Joe, there's an awful lot of wrong things that happen in the world.
Well,
I
that's
mean,
right.
Non-citizens get driver's licenses and use them as identification to get benefits and things like that. Governments decide to find a sneaky, dishonest way to tax citizens by suing large corporations so that every time someone goes and buys something there, they are paying an additional tax that the company has to charge in order to pay the settlement. I mean, that's all government sneaky Pete dishonesty of levying another tax against the citizens. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they say, "Oh, yeah, we're poking at the big corporate." No, they're not. They're getting more money for themselves and taxing their citizens to do it.
That's funny. You probably haven't seen this, but that is question number 1 in Massachusetts coming up next week.
Well, I saw a couple of ads because we have to watch the Patriots on Channel 4.
Okay.
So I saw a couple of ads that popped up about question number 1, and they're getting pretty nasty about the whole thing.
Yeah, it's all about we want to tax the 1% that make
Well, yeah,
a
well,
good
that
gazillion
doesn't
dollars.
work. It doesn't work. It's been proven in history it doesn't work, but
Yeah.
you can't tell these people that.
But if you don't research it,
Because the top 1%
looks
just
good.
leaves town.
yeah, or people just say, "Oh yeah, I don't make that kind of money, so tax them." And
Right.
I'm assuming
It's
I
wrong,
bet
but
it's
what the heck?
But I bet it passes
Yeah, it's the same.
overwhelmingly.
Yeah. It's the same reason people will turn around and let some other unfortunate person take the rap for a crime they didn't commit.
Yeah.
Because hey, it's not hurting me.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's got to do it, right? Okay, so fine. No, that's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. It's one of the many reasons why this planet never earned the sign heaven, and it's still called Earth because it ain't the nice place that you think that it ought to be. That's
Right.
all there is to it. And there's something else I wanted to say too.
All right, go ahead, Dave.
You're talking about political stuff, right?
Yeah.
Now, I am delighted here in Woonsocket that we are not being forced to put out negative ads. I'm really delighted about that because, quite frankly, I suppose with a couple of days left, it could still happen and I would not legally have a leg to stand on to stop it from happening. So I am not criticizing the other broadcast outlets that broadcast negative ads, because you really can't. We are prohibited by the federal government from editing what they say in their ads. So there you have it. But I'm saying it this way. Now that we're down within a week, I'm seeing all the negative junk come out.
Of course.
And you know
last
that
night.
I've said many times, even on this show, and I've said it personally, I can't rationalize voting early in my brain. Guess what? This morning, it hit me like a ton of bricks. That's why you vote early, so that the negative ads won't have
Won't affect
any
you.
effect.
Yeah, that's right. That's
If
what
they're going to
hoping.
bring out all the negative junk in the last week, then vote before the last week. At least at that point, you'll have the input of all the vote for me because I'm like this, and vote for this other guy because he like this. And, you know, you're dealing with positive information to make a decision with, not just who can smear the other one with more mud. So I'm starting
go.
to second
You're
guess
start- you're
myself.
starting
Maybe
to-
you should vote earlier.
Starting to sway to the other side, maybe.
Yeah, of course. You know what'll happen next. Human nature being what human nature is, they just start slinging the mud 2 weeks before.
Yeah, they'll start backing everything up.
Right. Yeah.
That's going to happen.
Boo
All
on
right,
that.
we
Boo
have
on
to we have to go. The program's come to an end. Thanks to Bob Lauder
Thanks,
and
Bob.
Emily Haining Sheehan.
Thanks, Em.
for coming in today. Thanks for Dave Richards coming in for the last few minutes.
Thanks, Dave.
I'm Joe Callahan. Have a great day, everyone, and stay
Thanks,
tuned
Joe.
for. You're welcome. Stay tuned for Gary Smith and the crew. And do you remember it's 9:30 here on ON Radio.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news. The Rhode Island ACLU is declaring a victory for religious freedom after a small Wiccan church was recently granted a zoning permit in Coventry. It allows the Horn and Cauldron Church of the Earth